Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Super Metroid multi-category tournament race. We are super excited to get rolling with this. Just as we are getting a raid from SpeedGaming 1 with 102, awesome. We are just getting started. I am Vincent RTA. I will be joined shortly by Count Cranberry, who's going to be hopping in with us. And more importantly today, tracking with us is Stacks. It's an incredibly important job of this. I'm really excited about getting forward with this, and we are now joined by Count Cranberry. Runners are should be rolling in just a second on our screen. Um, now that I'm joined by Count Cranberry, hey, do you want to talk about the format for this race?
Absolutely. And I think this is what I'm lovingly referring to as the kitchen sink format for this week. We've got rando bosses. So you go through that boss portal, you can find yourself fighting any boss in any location, with the one caveat that you're not going to find all four bosses in their vanilla spots. We've got random start. So we're going to see Lies and Gasoline coming up here inside the wrecked ship. Oh, maybe that's not wrecked ship.
That
Nope, it
is
is wreck
definitely
ship.
Rex Ship.
It's
Yep.
definitely wreck ship. And then we've got full countdown. So items can be anywhere, majors, minors, they're all shuffled up, but you'll see up in the left-hand corner of Lies and Gasoline screen, there's a little tracker on your HUD that tells you how many major items are left in that particular area. And of course, you can't leave it off, full rando. All area transitions have been shuffled, so you can think you're heading towards Turian and find yourself in Lower Norfair. You never know.
So this has been, for me, the full countdown. I think have been some of my favorite races to watch, just because of the ridiculousness that comes with these. And the fact that you see a lot of areas that you're not going to see normally. Oh, and Lies and Gasoline picks up that morph ball up there in the E-Tank location, while Belthasar just ran out of the wrecked ship and is going to
Yeah,
use supers to get in and is not going to find that morph ball.
yeah. The for wreck ship start, I believe right side E tank is the only location that morph ball can spawn in, and so Belthasar is probably going to need to take a reset here.
Yes, because that is a necessary item for so much movement. So that's going to be a big setback in time.
Yeah, so I mean, it's possible Belthasar could find out of logic power bombs, although I'm sorry, super missiles and get back in. Underneath West Ocean could be one spot they could be, but other than that, there's not a lot of other checks that Balthazar can make other than the bottom of Criteria.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. But it is showing good movement to get over here and being able to check bottom criteria. But I think he's going to be a little disappointed not finding those and not finding that morph ball, and especially finding out that when he finds out where it is, that's gonna look back at that as a mistake to leave that early.
Yeah, and we see Lies and Gasoline picking up power bombs, so we know that West Ocean item isn't super missiles that Balthazar would need to get back into the wreck ship. So, it's possible he finds an item down here at the bottom of Criteria. There's two majors somewhere here in Criteria, but I'm not sure he can even get back in. So it looks like it might just be a hard reset.
Yeah, this is kind of rough. Kind of rough. I mean, I would really hate to see that big of a reset. Even a couple minutes in can make a big difference with as well as a lot of these racers are running.
Yeah, and it's just an artifact of that random start. There's specific spots that each random start location will give you specific items. Variasuit is required in Lower Norfair, so it automatically gives it to you almost right away. And Wreck Ship, it's just one of those things.
Well, Lies is going to pick up. Oh yeah, realizes can't check anything down here. Balthazar realized can't check anything. There is the reset.
There's the reset.
Although Lies gets super missiles, but now has supers and both super missiles and power bombs. So a lot of areas are open.
Yeah,
And does have that morph ball.
yeah. Balthazar could have gone back, gotten power bombs from underneath Wreck Ship or West Ocean, opened up moat, and then gotten the super missiles there to get back in, but a reset's going to save him so much more time than that.
Could not have gotten those power bombs. Morph is required to get to there.
You need Morph Ball. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so easy to assume that you can get places with Morph Ball, but yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, Belthasar's gonna have to explore every open area and find this, and we'll see that. We'll see soon that was the only option.
Yeah, I'll admit, when I first did a wrecked ship random start, I did the exact same thing. I had no idea that an item could be on that right pedestal because, normally when the wrecked ship's not on, there's no item that can spawn there. So I didn't even think to check it until, last possible check.
Oh no. Is exiting again. Oh! Ooh, that was charge on the left-hand side of the backside of Gauntlet. So that's
It's good to know that's there. Can't quite get it yet.
Good, but it'd be very dangerous. I've seen some runners try to find a way through there, but yeah, I mean you would have to open. It'd be difficult.
Yeah, can you actually get it with just a single pack of power
No,
bombs?
you know what? No, not with just 5. You would need bombs.
Yeah, and in a normal and even a light area rando, you could rely on probably coming back through Criteria to get to Turian eventually and maybe pick it up last, like absolutely last. But in full area rando, you're not guaranteed to be routed back through Criteria just in the logic of the seed. So, if you know charge is there, you want to route it in pretty much as soon as you can.
And Belthasar is still trying to move around and find locations, but is gonna find soon that there's nothing out here for him.
It's just so unfortunate to see, just the unfamiliarity with a single random start, and you're just stuck. Meanwhile, it looks like Lies and Gasoline is headed down to 230 missiles.
Yep. All the locations are. This is 230 missiles was a definite check last week because this is a Chozo statue, but also an important check this week because it's just everything could be anywhere.
Yep, and it's worth noting that in most weeks, suit restrictions are on, meaning you can't find Varia or Gravity in Criteria. In a random start, that's not true. Varia or Gravity could be here. So even though we know there's only 2 major items in Criteria, one of which is Charge Beam, it's possible that other item is, one of those suits that our runners need.
This is gonna take a ship save, probably head back over to the other side here. Probably at this point, knowing charge is there, looking for that second power bomb pack or just regular bombs as soon as possible.
Right.
Although an E-tank certainly would not hurt. I know that's something that some runners have had realizing can't do anything there, so Belthasar has to reset again. But E-tanks aren't necessarily the easiest things to find in the full countdown.
Yeah, energy can be at a premium in the early game in these full countdown seeds for sure. Especially when you start finding seeds that put you in some of the more dangerous areas of the game. Looks like Belthasar's reset and is headed across towards.
Yes. Okay. There we go.
Ball.
All right. Old Mother Brain gives us some super missiles, so now up to 20 super missiles out already.
Yeah, we're just a couple packs away from Ridley ammo.
That's huge to find early. That makes the Ridley fight much faster. Lies and Gasoline knows where that charge beam is. That's a big help. But if the super missiles keep coming in like this, may just say, I don't even need charge.
Yeah, when you know where charge is, it makes it so that you don't have to do the ammo hunt. But if the ammo's plentiful along the way and you don't know if you can route it back in smoothly, it might be worth picking up a few of those miners.
Well, and you're already, because of the style of a full countdown, because you're having to check so many random locations, you're going to pick up a lot more randoms. Yeah, now is it 25 supers already?
It looks like the seed's being very generous with the super missile packs.
Very much so.
Unlike some of the other races we've seen in our Chozo weeks.
Yes, where everything was very sparse. Well, there was plenty of times where things were very sparse.
It looks like we've got another pack of power bombs, which does put Gauntlet into logic now. So it's entirely possible we see liesandgasoline just choosing to route back up there and pick up Charge Beam right away.
No reason not to. Maybe some reasons not to, but yeah, you probably will see it. Although we're gonna get a Billy Mays check, one of my favorite rooms in the game.
Probably one of the few times it's worth checking Billy Mays in a race like this.
Although I did see someone check Billy Mays early in a race, earlier in this tournament, and it made a huge difference. But what are we going to see here? More supers! Now we're at 35 and going to get that first regular missile pack here. Oh, and Toasty Toast is here in the perfect time of the Billy Mays room getting checked with that Billy Mays emoji. I literally subscribed to Toasty for a year after I saw that emoji.
Yeah, it is high quality. And we do see Belthasar now moving across West Ocean, picking up those power bombs, wasting no time heading back to Criteria.
Yeah, very well. I'm gonna grab this trash can here for liesandgasoline. It's definitely what I call that. Call the reserve tanks. Belthasar seeing those for the first supers is gonna pick up.
Lays that power bomb just a little to the right.
Oh, and meme routes. The meme route item shows us bombs.
So
now, liesandgasoline knows the only criteria item left is that charge at the back of Gauntlet. But 30 supers, 5 regular missiles. Very likely going to see some other great items along the way. Do you take it? And liesandgasoline's probably taking a second to not only pay attention to where he just came out, but also very likely to write down kind of a map of where you're going.
I'm not sure if I like this play from liesandgasoline. He, with full area rando, he only has access to 2 portals. He can't get back up with the items that he's got. So if both of these portals down here at the bottom lead to dead ends or areas he can't traverse, like Lower Norfair or Turian or Kraid, he's stuck. And if those areas don't have items that he can use to get back up, he's going to have to take a reset.
Right, and I think he does have a save ship somewhere. I know he went back to the ship at least once, so I think there is a save ship. Or a ship save. So we could potentially see a forced reset here.
Yeah,
and someone asked... sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, variant tweaks are on this week, so along with suit restriction, we just saw Belthasar make quick work of Bomb Chorizo. Don't normally see that unless you've got regular bombs, but we're going to see it a little bit more this week with the random start.
Belthasar with the 10 power bombs. Do you think we see a gauntlet check here?
I think we see him head over to Terminator and check the back of Gauntlet, and then I think we see him route around. That'd be my guess, but we'll see.
We did have a question from someone in chat ask what is full countdown. So if you look at the top of the screen where it says Crater 1 or 2 on the different runners pages, right now that's showing us the number of major items that are in that area. And by the major items, we mean everything that you see on the tracker. So the beams, the suits, and the movement items, and then the 2 HUD items, the either the X-ray or the grapple. So it tells the runners that one of those items is in the location. Obviously, they're not sure where it is, and the fun part is they could be anywhere.
Yep, exactly right. This is one of the newer randomizer settings that have come around recently. I personally really like it. I think it adds some real variety in decision making, especially when paired with full rando. So I'm a big fan.
And Lies had a way back out. Apparently, knew a portal location to get back, so no problems there. Now, I am going to point out what I kind of guessed might happen. No check a gauntlet. Confident about finding the ammo for the kill instead of worrying about charge.
Yeah, I mean, the early on in the seed, charge is definitely, less valuable, especially when you don't have any of the other beams. So, if you make it through the seed and you find you have mother brain ammo by the end, it makes a lot of sense. But, ammo, super missiles can dry up real quick, as we've seen in other seeds. So even in full area, I'm not sure I would make that bet, especially if knowing that, criteria is tapped out, no more major items there. Routing back for it would be a big time loss later on.
R.I.P. the Ripper there. Ooh, more power bombs there. I don't know if we saw Lies and Gasoline check the ceiling item. Or maybe did check but didn't grab it.
I think he did grab it. I think he didn't go down to bomb chorizo.
He did before Billy Mays. Oh! Good timing for this. Low energy and finds that second E-tank. That's a nice find right now.
The clutch E-tank in spooky missiles.
Those E-tanks are a valuable commodity here. Don't know if we saw a save as we're heading down there. I'm not sure I love that in a rando boss. This could be something untraversable. Unkillable.
Yep, I think he's got it 50-50. And it looks like we're gonna have Ridley.
We're gonna have a reset button. Yep.
Though to be fair, if he saved on the way over to wreck ship, which I didn't quite see if he did, this isn't too much of a loss. Pretty much.
I'm pretty sure this was a ship save. Yeah, this was a ship save.
Yeah, so good information. Knowing that Ridley is there is really helpful, and likely if we don't see him go to the gauntlet now, well, he's going the other way again. Probably checking the moat portal.
All right. Well, the runners, as you can see, though, you never know where they're headed. You never know what their plan's gonna be. So you just have to kind of, watch and see what their thought. You start to pick apart what maybe their thought processes were.
That's another reason I really like full area and full countdown is there's a lot of theorizing that you can do along those lines. When you have a pretty good idea of where the runners are going to go next and what the next items they're going to be checking are, it's more fun as a viewer to have a little bit of question in your mind.
Lies and Gasoline is going for this incredibly difficult trick. This is and gets it! The continuous wall jump. Beautiful.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's a very difficult... and sees Norfair.
Rewarded with Norfair.
But, hey, you know what? That's... Of movement tricks, that's one of the coolest to watch happen, and a very difficult one. If you play, is it RVO or is it low ice, where that's a required trick? I think it's low ice.
Yeah, low ice for sure. I think if you really want to be saving time in new route, I think you have to do a continuous wall jump.
Oh, not totally. Yeah, Tracy's pointing out not totally required because he could horizontal bomb jump, but that's. I almost feel like the horizontal bomb. Well, they're both incredibly difficult.
Yeah,
but I don't see players do them a lot.
Yep, exactly. Belthasar making his way back up from the bottom. Did pick up bombs. Didn't. I believe he checked the meme route location, so he has that information. Knows where the portal goes. It looks like Lies and Gasoline is heading down to check the Turian transition. Nope, headed to Crab Hole.
We're in some Meridia now.
Back again.
Yeah, and Stargazer, you're right in chat. Knowing the countdown, knows that all that Lies and Gasoline left behind was... Lies and Gasoline knows that all he left behind was charge. There's no other majors back in Criteria, so it's not, something that they've made the decision that, hey, you know what? I'm going ammo kill.
Lies and Gasoline finding Kraid's lair at Crab Hole transition.
That's going to be nice to get this kill, and we see that Kraid has one item. So we've got this power bomb locked location back there. We have the transition behind Kraid, and then we have well, then again, this might not be Kraid as the boss. So
might not be Kraid.
I back up, hold up. So
we do at least know that it's not Ridley. We know for a fact it's not Ridley.
So this is one out of three, and actually, if this was Phantoon, that would actually be a very okay situation as well. Oh,
but of course, it is neither of those, and without the movement items to escape, that's a reset.
So now we know that Lower Nerfair and Meridia contain the two easiest to kill bosses. So we're looking for one of the two suits.
Yep, that does seem to be next up on the list of things to find. Now, so I'm trying to think which transitions we'd be checking now. So we know Moat goes to single chamber.
Yes.
We know we can't get out the back of Wrecked Ship with the item set we currently have.
Correct.
The bottom of West Meridia is accounted for. Have we seen the mushroom transition on the left side of Criteria?
I don't believe so. So I will say that in this time that Lies and Gasoline has been running around, Belthasar is doing a phenomenal job of catching up and not terribly far behind right now, and depending on routing decisions, might close a decent amount of that time lost on the early resets.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I'm wondering if now that Belthasar has 2 energy tanks and a reserve tank, that puts the single chamber hell run into logic. Just getting from single chamber to Bubble Mountain.
That may be a possibility. It's tight, but I think that's the runners that we are seeing in these races now, they probably have the more than enough ability to pull it off. Why is this coming back for this E-Tank? Maybe going out the other side of Wrecked Ship to go check that transition?
I don't think you can get to it. I think without high jump boots, you can't make that jump. Yeah, definitely.
Yep, just backtracking.
Definitely interesting. I think they both have. Oh, there's Upper Norfair, the Croc entrance door. That's got to be the next line of progression.
Belthasar going to come down here, come into this energy refill room real quick, which makes some of these hell runs possible. Although taking a moment to pause and think, probably writing down the transitions, which can be in these, especially over light area, can be a lot more confusing.
Oh, and opting to go back to Criteria, and this is where the information advantage that Lies and Gasoline has, comes up as an edge, because Lies and Gasoline would know that this is the intended progression, whereas Belthasar has other portals he needs to check to say, is there something easier that I could do rather than go to Bubble Mountain and hell run with the equivalent of 3 E-tanks.
Right. So when Lies finds that transition, we'll probably just move forward and push through it. And head to that. Well, nope. Gonna do this gauntlet now.
I mean, I like this play. I'd rather have charge early than not. Even if I'm checking a bunch of minor items, I do save the fanfares at least.
You know what? There's another important part of this. This also means Lies and Gasoline's going to get another E-tank.
Very true. Yeah, it'll make those hell runs that much easier.
Twin, yes. Charge is on the backside of Gauntlet, so it's one of those two minor items at the end. So it's you know, and Lies and Gasoline knew that from long ago.
Yep, and Kaizentune in chat pointing out that Belthasar, having picked up that extra power bomb pack at BT, is going to have crystal flash ammo, whereas Lies and Gasoline is still a power bomb pack short.
One minor item making a big potential difference.
Really could, and it looks like Belthasar is going to check the moat portal. Might actually take the other end run into Upper Norfair.
And does.
Yep. Unfortunately, he's 2 regular missiles short of a crystal flash. You can farm him up, and it looks like he's gonna have no trouble getting out with the energy he's got.
No, this would be no issue at all. Although that something you definitely see more in Lower Norfair than anywhere. Oh, that got woo! That got dicey. Oh.
You had to say it'd be no issue at all, didn't you?
I did. And then of course it got scary. I just figured there'd be sometimes, but what we saw there, and what I was about to say, is things got scary. Is when you're in Lower Norfair, probably more than anywhere else, you see and feel the lack of high jump.
Oh yeah. The lack of high jump is so tough with those kind of awkwardly spaced platforms.
Yeah, where you can tell the designers definitely intended for you to have the item by that point, and without it, they become way more difficult.
It's just outside of a normal jump, so you got to do those little wall jumps off the ledges.
Well, what's great is the designers built this game, but there was still a way, even though that was their intention, they still left a way and designed a way to break those intentions, which is why this randomizer works as well as it does.
I mean, the way that the designers put movement into the game, intended or not, is absolutely, what's kept Super Metroid around for, as long as it has.
I think honestly, because of it, it's probably the greatest speedrunning game because of all the options of movement in it, the variety that's possible, just the sheer number of categories that runners can do, and the different boss orders that are available because of the tricks and things you can pull off.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that a reverse boss order run is even possible is a testament.
They definitely did not intend for runners to be doing what Belthasar is doing right now.
Yeah, Belthasar had a little bit of a scary run trying to get up to Batcave going in with just 80 energy, but made the jump in first try. I would absolutely have failed that and bonked my head on the side. Those little one-block jumps are tougher than they appear.
Why, seeing another moment where the lack of high jump is shining. So 2 in Upper Norfair, so there's a lot of locations this could be. For me, one of the scariest and worst is the worst is if it's at that reserve tank location on the top side of Bubble Mountain, because that's a rough hell run. That's actually, honestly, one of the hell runs that I've seen runners die the most in.
Yep, I know I have died in some of my races in the last few weeks in that room, so I feel that statement in my bones.
Yeah, Aster's pointing out it's possible 399 no speed, but it's tight. Like, that's definitely a rough one. But Belthasar is able to make this run right now and this check because of that power bomb advantage.
Yep, that crystal flash coming in clutch. Of course, not really paying off with just a super and a regular missile, but definitely puts him in a cozier spot.
Now,
And if
Bell,
he's,
go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, if he finds a spot to farm up power bombs a little bit more efficiently, it could also make the wave check possible.
Yes. But there's nowhere good here. We don't have fire fleas next to us to murder.
Nope. Getting to Business Center would also be a little tight on this energy. The reverse Cathedral run, I believe, is 4 or 5 E-tanks for logic. You've got bombs. You could infinite bomb jump up Croc Escape, but that's also going to be pretty tight on energy.
I think Belthasar is, well, thinking here. Maybe gonna try this.
Yeah, we're probably seeing a one-way trip here, unless it's an E-tank.
Oh no, Lies and Gasoline. No. Oh! So close to that door.
And with the old school CRT death on the screen there.
That's phenomenal. We know he's playing on probably a broadcast monitor there.
Yep. Meanwhile, Belthasar not rewarded for his ambition checking wave. Just another regular missile, another super pack. So it looks like Business Center is the place that's holding these major items, or Norfair Reserve.
Lies and Gasoline going back up there. Maybe feel strongly about getting those extra. I don't know. I don't know if those extra supers are worth this. Or maybe just trying to completely farm up to try the wave run.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure. He must be farming for the wave.
Meanwhile, we have another death, unfortunately, for Belthasar.
Yeah, he reset, so he's back down on that low energy, so he's trying to farm in Batcave, but just barely missed getting there in time. I'm a little surprised neither of the runners has done the deboost over to the reserve door to just peek that first item that's inside.
Yeah, it's like at least the first item would be worth checking. Lies farms up and takes the save. Smart plan here with that extra energy. I'm gonna allow for a couple of different decisions.
Yep, and it should be noted that the jump out of that room, without high jump boots or ice or any other movement items, you've got to take a running jump out this door to catch and wall jump up the other side. That's not an easy jump. The lag on the door transition makes it a little awkward to know when exactly to jump coming out of it. So every time you go down to save, you're risking more time loss just based on how well you can execute that door jump.
Yeah, when you come out of that room, you have barely any time. Really just a couple of frames of vision before you have to get that jump taken care of.
Lies and Gasoline, having farmed up and having made the jump, is going to check wave, where he will unfortunately be disappointed again. But it does mean that he will have that save to reset back to, rather than trying to make his way back out.
Is that it's just supers and does reset. So we are looking at Business Center or that top side of this bubble mountain as the location.
Yep. Belthasar taking the save. Chat's pointing out that you can also infinite bomb jump up this gap here. So, kind of depending on what Belthasar is most comfortable with.
Right away, there's Belthasar. Going for the infinite bomb jump. Just hopefully that waiver stays out of the way. Okay, we're in there.
I'm just holding my breath, watching that waiver fly back and forth.
Okay, good. Belthasar gets up there. Oh, very nice.
Very nice. That will make the backside of Norfair Reserve much easier to check. But it looks like Belthasar's opting out.
Probably a good idea. The chances are probably pretty low that the other major is there.
Yeah, that's a fair point. There's 2 checks there, and I think there's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in Business Center. So 2 out of 7 chance.
I mean, I think
And I
that's
guess
probably fair percentages to play that it's going to be. Oh, Lies has to take a reset. I think it's a fair guess to take that Business Center is probably where the next item is.
I guess there's 1 more at Croc Escape, so I guess there's a 25% chance.
Oh yeah. But that's a super easy quick check.
And actually, Space Jump opens up Business Center because that's an easy pass through Croc Escape.
Yes.
Looks like Lies and Gasoline either headed down to check the Chronic Boost transition or to this farm spot down here.
Hopefully not giving up on this. It's actually kind of... Belthasar is going through to check the backside of this room and is going to eliminate that percentage.
Yeah, I like this play. Even though it's a lower chance at Business Center. 25% chance that you're going to have to loop back to Bubble Mountain and check it anyway. Not something you want to take.
While it's not easy, it's a little bit more... Well, just going to take the reset. Okay. It's a little bit easier having Space Jump, but...
Oh, I also forgot Cathedral Missiles. Gosh, full
yeah.
rando. There's all those little spots that you don't think about as you're playing. And this would not be the first scene that we might have seen something like a Varia in Cathedral.
All right, Lies is taking another reset. Hopefully we'll figure out to at least go check out that top side of the... At least get that Space Jump, because that will be a big difference.
And did my eyes deceive me, or did Lies and Gasoline find the backside of Lower Norfair down there at Chronic Boost?
Your eyes did not deceive you.
So again, Lies and Gasoline getting a little bit of an information advantage over Belthasar, but Belthasar, moving further across the map, has that space jump. So I'm a little surprised Lies and Gasoline hasn't checked at least the front of Norfair Reserve. It's possible, Lies isn't comfortable with the infinite bomb jump up there, or the waiver deboost, or maybe is resetting and going back to check it right now.
Yep, and there is that space jump making this escape possible.
Yeah, possible, but still tight. Belthasar's gonna have to trigger his reserves getting out of here. Probably not what he wanted to do with a potential Hell Run ice check.
Right, especially with this area that's very low for farming.
Who among us hasn't farmed these Sovas at one point or another in our Super Metroid careers?
Definitely guilty of doing that this week.
It looks like Ice or Crumble Shaft is going to be our other location, or Cathedral Missiles. And Lies and Gasoline must just be checking Cathedral here. Oh, it takes a hit from that jumping enemy, whose name also escapes me. Chat will know. What's the name of that enemy, chat?
They'll give us the info. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that.
Yeah, that sounds like a word that I would get in trouble saying on stream.
Squeaked. Squeed. Squeet. Okay. Okay, because the first part looks like Squee from Magic Gathering, the character I know well. So,
how would you even know that that has a silent P? Like, who's said that to know that that P is silent?
well,
Belthasar checking the transitions at upper, kind of at the top of Business Center, doesn't want to make that ice run yet, and is rewarded with green Brinstar, but there's only one major item there.
Ooh, and that's a huge area with one item. That's and this is something. There's no bosses here. There's one item. Do you
The one thing that does suggest to me though, E-tanks. There's a lot of miners there, and those E-tanks could make your time in or upper Norfair a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, this comes down to that, like, this is something I was having a conversation with Kip about, and his thought is that there could be a second version of this kind of full countdown, where there's also a number that's counting E-tanks, or it shows the E-tanks in the area, because they're just so vital, and they make some of these areas so impossible to traverse without them.
Yeah. Yeah, not having E-tanks lumped in with the full countdown counter, I kind of like it, because it kind of gives you a little bit more priority to keep checking miners even if you've exhausted an area. But it definitely has a huge impact on how you route in.
Lies does pick up those power bombs now. We're gonna see Belthasar get up here to check Spazer, which normally you would be like, hey, this is both a Chozo item and a major item, but this week it could be missiles. Oh, but it is Spring Ball, the best ball. The bonus is that Belthasar's already done checking all of Red Tower for majors.
Yep, he knows he doesn't need any of the other spots. Might still look for E-tanks maybe at Alpha Power Bombs. I doubt it, but a possibility.
Yeah, that's not too long of a quick double check. But what that means is we're definitely not going to see the runners have to check X-ray, which is definitely nice.
Everyone's favorite check.
It's my favorite check to watch runners execute without space jump or grapple.
Yeah, props to the early X-ray checkers out there. It's technically proficient and super fun to watch. Although, you hold your breath the whole time.
Yeah, but every time I see them run without it, or run into that area with both those items, I just kind of, there's a frown on my face, and I'm like, oh, they get to do this easy.
Yep, and Belthasar now faced with an interesting choice. He found the top of Green Brinstar. He knows where the bottom is. Trying to decide what he wants to do. Is the item density good enough for him to check? And I think it is.
So, Lies is headed down. Gonna very likely go out meme route down here. Or is headed to meme route. I can't remember where that transition went, but has basically abandoned that upper Norfair.
Yeah, just that decision not to look at Norfair Reserve is really hurting Lies and Gasoline's routing at this point. And maybe it's not a choice. Maybe Lies and Gasoline just wasn't comfortable making that D-boost or doing the IVJ, but it's unfortunate, and that major item was pretty critical.
Well, so I was thinking about this at the same time. It is not required. It is definitely Is it great? Does it make a lot of things easier? Yes, but it's not necessarily required. So even if Lice never picks up space jump, can still finish this. Are some areas going to be a lot harder? Yes, but honestly, if I had to choose a run between getting space jump or screw attack, I'm going to take screw attack out 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, that's a great point, and I don't think I wasn't trying to imply that he needed it, but more just it's going to hurt his routing efficiency.
Oh, I don't disagree with that at all. It definitely will. And now this is, all over the place.
It looks like he's making a Mama Turtle check. There is one item in West Meridia. He can infinite bomb jump up to this, so depending on what's here, could put him back in the game if it's a suit.
Mama T, who does a surprising amount of damage.
Yeah,
if you take a hit from her, she is a full 2 tanks. She's a mean mama if you upset her.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around with a mama. Just a
These
super
supers
missile.
there. And missiles.
These double checks have just been one missile and one super missile, all seed.
Oh, speaking of,
Oof.
I need to stop talking about dangerous situations that players can get in.
I was about to say, this could actually play in Lies' favor if it sends him back down to Upper Norfair, if he was going to go up and check that other location, but it looks like he took a saving criteria. I mean, you could technically, with area rando, you have rolling saves, so you could revert to an earlier save, but it looks like Lies is sticking with his criteria save. So clearly headed back down to Meme Route, headed to the top of West Meridia. I'm not quite sure where Lies goes from there. He's checked Crab Supers, he's checked Mama Turtle. Can't get to Beach or Watering Hole.
But we are 45 minutes in. We
Yeah,
have minimal major items and no suits. And just charge. This has been a very difficult seed for these runners.
Well, it makes you wonder where all these items are. I mean, are they just really that evenly distributed? Is there just no area that's particularly stacked? Is East Meridia sitting on like 5 major items?
What is Croc holding now?
Oh, that's actually a good point. Yeah, Croc is his own area.
But we do know that Rex Ship had 4 items. So the first person that finds Fantoon is gonna, have three checks in one location. But that's also knowing, that's also the location you don't necessarily want to rush to because the boss there is Ridley. So you're backtracking just to the items, and you might have to backtrack again there later.
Yeah, and we know there's one item in Kraid's lair, which if Kraid is in Lower Norfair or East Meridia, either place, if that major item is in Kraid's locker, you've got to backtrack all the way back there too. So this is just a backtracking seed. It looks like.
You know what? The way this is... Oh, we got X-ray scope as the only major item in Green Bryn. Wow!
The seed is just taunting the runners at this point. This is tough.
Wow. Just wow. I mean, if anything, at worst, that means someone could X-ray escape Dragon. Or Dragon's lair if he gets stuck, to exit Dragon's lair. But, oof, this is rough.
Oh, and liesandgasoline passed that item on his first visit.
I'm pretty sure had he checked that visit 1, would have taken that death and went back, but hey, what are we doing now? Taking a save. Oh, and can gravity jump out of Dragon's lair, so we'll probably go down and fight Dragon now.
Yeah, plenty of ammo. Yeah, that kind of blows the seed wide open.
That's huge. That's our first suit we've been looking for.
Meanwhile, Belthasar finding Croc, who is a little sparse, does have a major item.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say he can check all of them since he's got space jump, so we will see it eventually.
What if Croc has been holding on to Varia?
I think we'd have a race on our hands.
I think so too. I think that's for us at home, that's what we should hope for, is that we find a Varia here, and now we've got 1 player with gravity, 1 player with Varia. That will be some fun times. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if Lies would be spending that time. Does get some supers here. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got gravity suit, in a full area rando, you see Croc with 1 major. That's a tough justification. You might last location that.
So I think you are seeing something that we're going to see a lot of this week, and players are having to reset. Have had to reset quite a few times. I think you're going to see that all week. I don't think anyone's going to be able to run this all the way. Like, there would be very few players to be able to run this clean all the way through without doing a reset after a check.
Yeah, for sure. Just the nature of full area and full countdown, it's gonna promote that. And actually, I like the heads up play of using kind of save scumming checks like that just to get information.
Yeah, at the very least, sometimes checking the transitions can make a huge difference in your routing decision. And Belthasar is going to get down here, be able to check all these wonderful croc items, see what croc delivers. Meanwhile, Lies is finishing off the very large shrimp.
And East Meridia only having one major item, so just even distribution of major items. 1, 2, or I think 3 was the most in wrecked ship that we saw.
Well, yeah, wrecked ship was 4 to start. There's still 3 left there.
Yeah, good point.
Just these power bombs, and like, nope, no, thank you.
Hard pass.
Now we're gonna see this gravity jump. Such a cool trick. Pretty easy once you learn how to do it.
Yeah, and opens up so many possibilities once you have gravity suit.
Oh, wave.
Everybody's favorite beam.
Now that does add a good amount of damage to that charge beam, but Belthasar already has a ton of ammo. An absolute metric ton of ammo.
Yeah, Belthasar is sitting on an armory.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that much of that ammo outside of a vanilla or watching 100 hundo in a while.
I'm wondering if Belthasar routes back to Lower Norfair at this point, or Upper Norfair. I'm sorry. He's got 3 crystal flashes on board. Still a major item there.
That is so many crystal flashes. Yeah, just casually enough ammo for 3 crystal flashes.
Now, if I'm liesandgasoline here, I'm probably checking the portal at the top right of West Meridia just to get that information. Probably checking beach and watering hole as well for that one major item. Did we see Lies check the speed booster in the speed or the Shine Spark item?
The speed booster, speed location, yes.
Okay. Oh no, I'm sorry. In on Main Street, the Shine Spark item that's trapped up in the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. No, we did not.
Okay, just curious. Belthasar finding Turian. Meanwhile,
that is a very nice find. Gives it, Belthasar now knows where once he's able to find all these other bosses, where he needs to finish, and that's, it in light area, you can kind of deduce and figure out where Turian is pretty quick. Usually by the time you're ready to go there, there's like 1, maybe 2 spots that it's left. In these, it's quite a bit different.
Yeah, no, it with completely random portals, it really could be just about anywhere. I'll also ask, did we see the top of Red Brinstar elevator transition from Belthasar?
I did not see it.
I'm not sure he checked it, but we'll see if chat has better info than us. Because what I'm seeing, depending on where that transition goes, you could almost completely route around Red Brinstar. It's got 2 transitions to Green Brinstar. The only way in that I'm seeing that's not locked out is from Upper Norfair and from Lower Norfair. So, it's entirely possible that Liesandgasoline moves through the seed without seeing Red Brinstar until he's headed into Upper Norfair. But even then, he could go into he knows where the back of Lower Norfair is, so it's not probable that he's going to be looking for Lava Dive.
Very likely. Lies does pick up high jump boots here. One of the better movement items to find along the way, other than speed is obviously the ultimate movement item to find.
Yeah, but high jump boots and gravity just is going to make Meridia so much more comfy.
And as previously mentioned, Lower Norfair is going to be a lot easier. Now, being here in Meridia, and with the information that Belthasar finds Spazer is the other Upper Norfair item. So, well,
so much hype and anticipation for it to be Spazer. Not sure how I feel about that.
Hate on it, but it's still a beam, and it still increases damage output. But again, Belthasar has two countries worth of missiles in stock. I think this actually if Lies just doesn't worry about the Upper Norfair checks, will actually be in better shape. Lies might not even, check Croc or the rest of Upper Norfair.
Yeah, there's a good chance that we don't see Liesandgasoline pick up Spazer. But it all kind of depends on where that Various suit is located.
Yes, this is true. But, well, and, maybe if Lies finds... I think the best thing Lies can find here is Phantoon at the boss location.
Yeah, that would definitely open up, kind of the rest of the seed. Wreck Ship then opens up, which, if we're playing probability, Wreck Ship is probably where Vary is at.
Yes. But what we don't have right now is a way to get to Batwoon.
Well, Liesandgasoline doesn't need it. He's killed Dragon. He can go.
He can go backside. Yes, he can go backside. Which might be headed that direction now.
I'm a little curious. It looks like Lies is choosing to do most of the minor checks ahead of the boss, and I'm wondering, how do you feel about that as opposed to going straight to the boss and kind of checking the minors on the way out? I
think. Well, okay, it might have to do with the routing to get to the backside of Dre right now. I don't know. I think I'm okay with this, because now we're going to head up the tube and go to Kraid, or go to Kraid's lair, or sorry, Dragon's lair. I think I'm okay with this routing. It's going to eliminate the double back in that area, and also means that it also means that some of this area they're not going to have to double back through. So, I don't know.
I do like that he's seeming to skip Plasma for the moment. Looks like he's headed straight for the boss. I wouldn't be surprised if he turned around and checked the item behind Batwoon.
Yeah, that's a quick and easy check. Yeah, we can see the difference here where Belthasar has checked a lot more real estate. Part of why he has way more missiles and supers right now, and 20 more power bombs. But Lies knows information that Belthasar doesn't, that this Meridia boss is either Kraid or Phantoon. So, no matter which it is, it's an easy kill.
Yep, well, for sure. Not going to have any trouble.
sorry, let me rephrase that. Easy kill for runners that are experienced, because Fantoon, if you're not, don't have a solid boss plan fight, can be a nightmare for casual players.
Very true. I mean, Fantoon is still a nightmare for me.
I've studied watching Shiny Zenny and how he approaches a Fantoon fight. I can't do the like how many people can actually pull off the 1-round kill. I can't pull off a 2-round kill, maybe a 4 or 5-round kill at best. But it's definitely something I've had to do a lot of work to, build to that point.
Yeah, I mean, just learning the different patterns and the different places he can open his eye. I still miss the eye open so many times. So yeah, it's an art, really.
So I know
Belthasar trying to get back out and makes it across.
I know this is one of those things about Belthasar. It's probably like enjoys all this ammo, but is not enjoying the complete lack of E. Like, only 3 E tanks this late in. That's kind of rough, knowing that you're gonna have to go to lower nerf air soon, and it's kind of difficult.
Yeah, especially when
get prayed.
All that talk of Fantoon.
And we get to go and watch Kraid at prom. Alright, we get a dance.
I mean, it's been an hour since since the beginning of the seed, so Kraid is probably just feeling a little lonely. He's been down there waiting, so it feels
likely,
like the right thing to do.
Deserves a little bit of love and time for all that waiting. Yes.
Yep. Lies opting to pick up that missile pack behind Kraid, probably thinking about that Fantoon fight that's coming up.
Yes, because only 15 missiles in a Fantoon fight, that's pretty tight. That means you're definitely going to have to farm in between every round. With that high jump boots and this gravity, look at how easy this getting out of Dre's lair is.
No need for X-ray climbing today. At least not from Lies.
This is this is an example. Belthasar, we know, does a lot of vanilla running. Probably doesn't spend a lot of time doing randos. I'm not sure about Lies and Gasoline's experience in randos, but these can take relatively even level runners, or even widely different level runners, to basically the same level because of the randomness that happens. So choice and routing becomes so much more important.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Pure technical movement ability will take you a long way, but decision making, routing decisions, how you explore and gain information are the bigger time savers in a randomizer like this, for sure.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, just knowing the logic of the seeds, like Lies and Gasoline knew, I need to go check this location, and went and found the morph ball immediately.
Right? Yeah, just that pure knowledge definitely plays a factor. Looks like Lies is skipping Plasma. I mean, I don't blame him. That'd be a tough room. I mean, you can IBJ out.
That's also a long. It's just a long trip. I think I'm okay with that skip. And here we're gonna see Belthasar. I don't think Belthasar has seen this boss check yet. So I think
I don't think so.
So information. Lies has already done this. But Belthasar is going to see this 4th E-Tank, which Sure, he'll be happy to see that after all of this. Covering as much ground as he has and not finding more than 3 E-tanks. That's pretty rough.
Yeah, probably would have been happier to see it about 30 minutes ago, but... I'm wondering, with 57 super missiles, what would be the absolute minimum or health that you would need to fight Ridley? Like, is this a fight Belthasar tries to take? It looks like he is.
I mean, this number of supers. Nope. I think, I don't know. Chat, what do you think? What's the minimum number of tanks you would need to take that fight?
If he can keep his reserve for when he gets picked up and is able to manipulate Ridley's AI into pogoing, I think it's doable, but it would be very tight.
It would basically require perfect execution of the fight. And Ridley not being Ridley. And, the number of times that Ridley decides to swoop and just not cooperate, that'd be rough.
Yeah, and like you said, if most of Belthasar's experience is vanilla running, he may not have that same experience with, manipulating Ridley into doing very, very fast, low health strats.
That's a fight where RBO runners shine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm kind of in Stargazer's boat there. I need 8 tanks with bow suits. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Lies and Gasoline coming back to wreck ship.
Looks like we might have a little bit of a high five right here.
We got it. Had the door transition high five.
Yeah, and it looks like Belthasar's heading out the back of wrecked ship. He's got spring ball, so he, I believe, can make it back Forgotten Highway, but he's going to be disappointed when he finds the vanilla transition down to East Meridia. I guess that is one saving grace of the seed, that the majors have revealed themselves in a way that doesn't suggest suitless is the way to go. No ice beam, no grapple beam.
Belthasar is trying to execute East Ocean without high jump or gravity.
Yeah, you might be able to do it with spring ball. I'm not sure, but
Spring ball, yeah. You know what? We're gonna watch. Well, we're gonna see whether spring ball will get him all the way through or not. Spring ball strats.
Yeah, it looks like he can do high jumpless spring ball. The problem might be that last jump up to that platform to get out. Meanwhile, it looks like Lies is headed towards Upper Norfair, if I had to guess. Now we see if Belthasar can use that space jump to get out of the water.
I'm actually totally focused on watching Belthasar try to pull this off.
I on the one hand, I want him to succeed in what he's doing and his efforts, but on the other, we know it's a dead end, so you almost just want him to reset out of this.
Truth. Lies without that space jump. Oh, realizes not even close to the right location.
Yep,
Oh.
picked the wrong platform.
It's going to be tight. And because he's so far away from the ledge, has to jump up a little bit higher, but has that reserve, will be totally fine here.
Yeah, I was holding my breath. I'm not sure the last time Lies saved.
Belthasar getting so close with this.
Oof.
Now Lies is going to check. Lies is probably going to go through Lower Norfair. Hopefully, well, I don't know. What did we find up here? We found Space Jump and we found Spazer. So, not too excited about either one of those.
Yeah, there is the transition to Red Brinstar, which he will hopefully find Turian in the 2. But as far as items go, we're probably not going to be seeing anything that he wants to see for the next 5-10 minutes.
Right.
And meanwhile, Belthasar is succeeding in getting out of East Ocean.
Hey, we're seeing that spring ball come into use. Gotta love it. We know there's some runners that don't like spring ball.
Quote one of my favorite TV shows, I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
Unfortunately, I'm failing on the reference.
It's Futurama, the neutrals from the neutral planet.
Absolutely phenomenal television show. Lies is doing this ice check, which I believe was just super missiles earlier. It's been so long since I've seen this location. Drops that power bomb to clear the room out.
Looks like Belthasar is taking the dive into East Meridia.
Not sure how I feel about this, especially with there being only one item in the whole area. I'm gonna have to agree with Tracy. I don't think this is too good.
It's like Lies and Gasoline is remembering Crumble Shaft. I've definitely forgotten Crumble Shaft in a couple of my practice seeds.
Now, do you take the look and decide? Yeah, without space jump, has to think about it. I think just probably gonna be like, well, it's only Spazer? Nah. Oh, well, I am totally wrong here.
Tried to get a running start at it, but couldn't quite jump in time. And now he's got an energy problem.
Gotta get out of here quickly.
He's got 2 full reserve tanks, but those crumble blocks are not forgiving in their ability to jump off of.
Not at all.
We've got 200 energy to get to the top of the room.
I don't think that's an issue with Lies and Gasoline's, wall jump ability. Yep. Yeah, no problem. Less than a tank to make that climb. Easy.
Still, I held my breath. I'm not sure when Liza's last save was, so these runners are just making me hold my breath too much.
There's quite a bit of things that have been dicey for sure. Belthasar passing the plasma location, which we will probably not see this game from either runner. Belthasar still can't go there, though, because one huge difference right now, Belthasar does have a ton of ammo, does have a couple more checks under his belt. Has gotten through that croc area, which we'll see whether or not Lies does that. But no bosses down yet.
Again, a minor correction to chat. I believe high jump boots were in West Meridia. Yep. Belthasar unfortunately getting stuck in the sand. Without high jump boots, without gravity, that's a trap. You're not getting out of there.
As we know, Suitless Meridia was not in logic because gravity is in Kraid's lair at the power bomb locked location. So hopefully Belthasar is able to find that. Lies and Gasoline still looking, really at this point, looking for one item.
Yep, we know Red Brinstar is not going to pay off. We know that Green Brinstar, which we're going to be seeing here soon, will not pay off. So, just begs the question, where's it at? I mean, I guess it has to be East Meridia, right? Because Fantoon is in Lower Norfair, which means that Wrecked Ship is logically out of logic. Very gracefully said by me. And I think we've seen every other area. We've seen Croc. We've seen everything in West, in East. Oh, we haven't seen East Meridia, but we've seen everything else.
Yeah, we don't know what the one item in East Meridia is, but yeah, so many areas have already been covered. It's wow. Like, where are we looking? Where is the item? Where is that suit?
And of course, Go ahead.
What if Varia is a plasma?
I mean, that seems it's plasma or left sandpit. I think those are the only two locations Lies didn't check.
Yes.
Shack Tool is down there, but I don't think we have the items to do Shack Tool.
No, it wouldn't be a check.
Yeah, no ice beam, no grapple beam.
And Green Bryn is a bigger disappointment than my prom night. With just one item in that huge location.
Kraid wouldn't dance with you at prom? That's sad.
No, I died to Kraid when I took him to prom, so it was no good for me.
On the other hand, it looks like Belthasar is in West Meridia, so he's headed down, looks like he's making that transition, but it looks like Belthasar might be having a little bit of stream issues, frozen maybe? Or maybe just checking his map when he's gathering the item?
We'll see. Hopefully that's all it is.
Yes, Rainbow, the Green Brinstar item was Spore Spawn, it was X-Ray. Looks like Belthasar's back. Belthasar should be on the right track to find Kraid's lair at East Crabs.
Lies is hunting this Green Bryn location. There's so many locations to check here. It's such a low percentage to find one item, but what if it's Varia? That's the crazy thing about this. You know, this countdown, the full rando. You never know. But we are getting to see our friends who teach us the wall jump trip.
What's interesting is with all these checks, if Belthasar finds gravity here and goes straight to East Meridia, if he makes the check at Plasma and left Sandpit, that could put him back into the lead.
Especially with some of the time that Lies and Gasoline is spending here in Green Bryn.
Yep, and liesandgasoline has also not checked Croc, which might be something he goes hunting for. You know, if once he finds out that Greenburn is a bust.
What did we find in Greenbryn?
X-ray scope.
Oh, that's right.
Spawn.
So nothing exciting at all.
Belthasar finding that gravity suit will have no problem dealing with Dragon with his veritable arsenal that could rival a small country.
Well, and at this point, Belthasar is, now has the knowledge that of where Ridley is, because he already checked that and took that reset. So now is on par with knowledge. Actually, is a little bit ahead with knowledge because he knows where Turian is. Elias is going to do this the Spospo Supers check, and we'll check this and probably likely quickly exit Greenbryn, because knowing that this is the only major and how terrible of a check it turned out to be.
I mean, it's entirely possible we see liesandgasoline reset out of Greenburn Star. I don't think he picked up anything that was critical to his progression. Maybe he did pick up a few E-tanks, but I think also of note, liesandgasoline still does not have space jump, so he still doesn't have that second Upper Norfair item.
I think it's going to all depend on, it's going to depend on where he checks next and whether or not he hits the Varia lottery first.
If I'm liesandgasoline, I know I've got Croc left. I know I've got one item in Upper Norfair. I think I check both of those before I go back to East Meridia. Because East Meridia is just so out of the way in this seed.
Very likely. I don't disagree whatsoever. So if that's the location, which honestly I'm not figuring out many more locations where it might be in logic.
No, I think logically it has to be in East Meridia. We've seen all the other checks from Belthasar. liesandgasoline going to find that Turian entrance, which, while good information, doesn't help him right now.
Well, for later. Still only has 2 bosses to go, but I think we're going to see Belthasar. Like you said, I think Belthasar is probably going to head to Meridia now with that gravity suit, and we'll start to clear through that area. It could be catching up soon. Like, this is why the randomizer is so much fun, because you never know.
Right? Yeah. And you can kind of trace it back for Lies just to that orphaned East Meridia check. And to be fair, that is a tough check to make with the item loadout that our runners have.
Yes.
Especially since Lies didn't have space jump at the time. So I can't fault liesandgasoline for making that decision, but it's just unfortunate.
So we see that check, the speed lock check is just an E-tank in this room, where Belthasar is now. So not a big deal.
Yep. And so we probably will see Belthasar check Mama Turtle first, and then Beach and Watering Hole. To answer Bismarck's question, no, he had not killed Kraid when he checked it, but we know that there's no major item there because the countdown timer is at 0.
Yes, the only major item in the Kraid area was the gravity that he found in the power bomb locked missile location. Gonna see just the supers there, nothing exciting from Cathedral. I've loved the seeds where I've seen something major in that Cathedral location. Definitely have seen Varia in that location. Sure, runner. That's like probably the most comforting feeling ever that you're going from a hull run to, oh, I've got Varia mid Cathedral.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice feeling, except when, you're on 60 energy and you're trying to slowly roll your way through that lava without gravity suit. You're just watching your life tick down in front of your eyes.
Basically saying I would have enjoyed League Season 1. Okay. I'll have to go back and watch some VODs from that time then. Oh, a lot of first power bombs in that location. Ooh, that's rough.
That is ugly. Oof.
That is like probably one of the that's probably one of the ugliest locations to have your first power bombs. Ugh. That is such a hard check to make consistently and not die.
Yeah, it's one thing if it's Varia, where, you stop taking damage after you pick it up. Power bombs, the clock's still ticking.
Lie's probably loving life now with this. Not loving the energy loadout right now. This is. You're probably going to go back for a safety save here, and then we'll try to make this farm jump up to the bats in the belfry there. Belthasar does pick up the high jump boots. So now we got players on a pretty similar loadout for items, except Belthasar does have that wave beam from the Croc location.
Yeah, which Lies might actually want so that he can get down to the energy refill station, which might be faster than farming here. I'm not quite sure.
It's gonna be tight.
Oh, close. So close. So
And that's
thankfully
why
having that safety save.
That's why we safety save. I would probably actually try to farm maybe off these waivers real quick before making the jump. Speaking of, that energy literally on its own is... Oh, as I say that, we take some damage there. Okay, this is more than enough to get up there and farm. As long as this jump goes well, let me preempt that. I should stop saying things.
He does have high jump boots. That makes it a little bit easier. You can jump straight up rather than having to wall jump up, but still, nerve-wracking.
I've still been speaking too many things into existence tonight. I need to be positive here. I am positive these runners are going to be okay. All right.
Looks like we are going to get a left side sandpit check from Belthasar.
This is definitely one of those locations where it's highly, highly, highly probable that Varia could be down in this location.
I mean, it's here plasma, right? Oh man, it's plasma.
Oh man. Okay. Oh, Dre.
But at this point, with Belthasar's information, he should know that Varia is in this location.
Yes.
Or no, he doesn't know the boss. He doesn't know the boss. He could think Fantoon is here and think it's wrecked ship. He'll know once he goes to the... For sure, once he goes to the boss. Yep, and we're going to see Belthasar head up that tube here now.
Did I miss Lies and Gasoline have to reset again?
Possibly. I was transfixed on our left sandpit check.
As was I, knowing how important that was.
Yeah, chat actually making the point, which is really interesting to think about. The only reason that plasma is in logic is because you have pseudo screw, which is enabled by charge beam, which means that charge beam is actually required progression in the seed.
Wow. Wow.
I'm not sure I've ever seen that before. That's crazy.
Wait, where's Belthasar going?
Looks like he's trying to do a shack check. Is he gonna X-ray climb?
What are we seeing?
Seeing a crystal flash attempt, it looks like. But I think he's deciding better. He must have figured out that it can't logically be at shack tool.
Yeah, that would be
Yep.
too
Yep.
difficult and crazy. So there's one location where it's at, and that pseudo screw is going to be everything. So
I mean, I would have loved to have seen a crystal flash clip into shack tool, but knowing that shack tool doesn't have the goods.
So plasma.
So plasma.
So plasma. That's our location. Wow. It's week to week have been such different seeds, and just it's exciting watching the differences here. But this has been, I feel like, I don't know, have you played many of these and practicing for your races? Like, this seems like a pretty difficult seed.
Yeah, it's a little convoluted. Kind of requiring a little bit of a gamble heading down, into Meridia so you can find Kraid's Lair, so that you can find gravity for progression. It's it's not an easy seed. And it looks like Belthasar not remembering that he's either killed Dragon or not remembering that he can take the tube up and skip Botch Wound. So it looks like he's damaging down for a Crystal Flash clip.
Yeah, that is, let me just tell you, that is an incredibly hard trick to execute. But he does have a lot of attempts with it, with 39 power bombs.
All right, here we go. First try.
So,
we're not going to count that one.
So, for those of you who don't know what's happening here, Belthasar is trying to execute the Crystal Flash clip. To execute this, you have to lay the power bomb up here, and you have to bomb yourself up back to where you laid the power bomb, be in that exact frame, or that exact location, in the perfect frame for it to register your location. And if you do, then you enter the Crystal Flash and you're able to break through that location. The problem is, and Aster's pointing this out, Belthasar is trying to bomb way too early.
Yeah, the timing is extremely tight. Because you essentially have to both lay the power bomb at the apex of your bomb jump and be back up there and be velocity neutral. You can't be moving at all. So you've got to be right at the peak of that jump. And this is just time that Lies and Gasoline is gaining back on him. Once Lies and Gasoline sees that the item here is not Varia, he will be able to deduce that East Meridia is the answer.
And depending on where the last save was, might just reset back.
Yeah, entirely possible. Again, he hasn't picked up... Well, he picked up Space Jump, which might be the reason why he skipped Plasma in the first place. We might see a reset if it's back to a place where he still had Space Jump, but I'm not seeing him giving up that item.
Space Jump far too important, agreed.
Looks like
Here's
Belthasar remembering that he can take the tube up. Maybe?
Maybe?
No, Belthasar, the tube is the other way.
No!
Maybe he's trying to go down right sandpit to be a little closer? I can't remember if he's checked right sandpit or not. I think he has.
So Lies is climbing up here and going to grab this wave. Now knows that that's the only major in the area. And probably will just quickly exit, because no reason to hang. Meanwhile, Belthasar picks up an extra trash can.
You can never have too many. Unless you have 5. Then there's a serious problem with your game.
Oh, you know, it depends on the randomizer. Maybe there are some where I have seen one where... I have seen a version of the game where you have no main E-tanks, you just have all reserves. And
Who
that's
would do that? Oh, Belthasar, please. Turn around. You were right there.
I am sad.
I know, but you know, we have to take a step back. We're sitting here watching. We're not in the race. You know,
Yes,
Belthasar
yes.
had a rough start. You know, he doubtlessly feels behind. It's you know, it's so hard to remember all the little things about the randomizer when you're in it.
Oh, and just this. Just to remember, like, again, if you don't play the randomizers, you're not gonna. Oh, yeah, it's gonna leave this area. You might not even think about that routing location to get to the backside of to Dre's lair. Like,
Right.
maybe you don't know that routing as well, or I don't know. I mean, it's.
Or even the fact that because boss rando is on and you've killed Dragon, that means that Dragon's unlocks are unlocked. You might think that you actually need to kill the boss that's in Dragon's lair to unlock those transitions.
This is going to be an exciting week.
Oh my gosh.
This is just what we're seeing in the first day of racing of this format. This is going to be great.
This is the first race, right? Or have there been others?
There's some others earlier today, but
Lies and Gasoline heading back down into Upper Norfair. So these transitions take him to Criteria, Lower Norfair. That's about it from where he's coming from. Which is not necessarily the direction he might want to be going.
It's so hard when you know you'd love to just be able to scream, no, go here, but
I know.
Backseating in this game is way easier than being in the main, especially in these randomizers when you are trying to solve the puzzle, because it really is a puzzle in the long run. And sometimes you just don't know how to make the pieces fit.
Yep, absolutely. I could not have said it any better. Lies and Gasoline traversing Cathedral, what is likely becoming his favorite sequence of rooms in the game at this point.
Grace is pointing out something that, is true at this point. With 6 main tanks, and I believe Lies and Gasoline has 2 reserves, Lower Norfair is not out of possibility to do with just this loadout.
Yep, very true. I mean, Belthasar, his ammo situation, if he found 1 or 2 more E-tanks, he's got 3 crystal flashes. So, I mean, that could take him through Lower Norfair pretty smoothly. But, again, no screw attack, no plasma beam, no Varia. That's a tough Lower Norfair, even with 3 crystal flashes.
And Lies does have 2. Lies would have 2 crystal flashes. with that ammo loadout, but I think could, going through the backside of Norfair should be able to make that hell run to get to the Firefleece room.
Yep, very true.
Especially knowing that it's Fantune in Ridley's lair.
Yep, and because there are miners along the way, any one of those could be an E-tank that gives you that much more breathing room. But if for runners who have never done suitless lower Norfair or aren't comfortable with it, it's almost just a hard, no matter how many E-tanks you have, you wouldn't try it. But we might be approaching the point where even in that situation, our runners are just like, well, why not?
Sometimes I'm still learning even the concept of playing these randomizers and going through them. I'm not like SM has not been my running game. I run Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide as my main game. So this is totally, it's way beyond my ability right now. But to even for me, like last night, I was running a seed where at some point I just had to be I couldn't find a life spell, and I'm like, I just got to throw caution to the wind and go. Like, I can't wait around anymore. At that point,
Right.
I had way more than enough experience and health, and if I took a death, I took a death, but I just had to go. And unfortunately I finally made the decision. But sometimes you got to do that in these. You can't wait forever.
Yep, for sure. Throwing caution to the wind is the way you got to do it sometimes. It looks like Belthasar is taking the long way around to the top of Meridia, which if he doesn't know that he can do the tube. Oh nope, he's going to Ridley. Oh, he's getting the E-tank.
The third time.
Yeah, if he turns around here and heads back Forgotten Highway to that vanilla transition, we might see our two runners get Varia almost at around the same time. liesandgasoline, I think, has figured out that this has to be Varia.
Yep, and it's heading up to that location now. All right.
Ah, Belthasar's leaving.
And backtracking. Yep, Lies is gonna very, 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 very likely see this check-in. It's almost guaranteed at this point we're about to see Varia.
Yeah, I think we are guaranteed. I think it has to be here. If there's only one item here in East Meridia, it's got to be.
And based on logic, that's pretty much the only item it can be at this point.
Right.
So
we
now,
did see Belthasar check those super missiles that are above the wrecked ship entryway, and it was screw attack. So we know where that is.
I love how this seed. This has been the troll of all trolls. There it is. Yep.
liesandgasoline just stopping and looking back on the road we've taken to get here, and thinking, now what? How do I kill these things? I don't know if he knows that a pseudo screw will kill them.
Come on, please, Lies. Hold that charge beam and attack.
Just press.
no!
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh yeah! Oh no!
Oh man!
Oh, Kool-Aid Man just came crashing through. Oh, that's so rough. Oh no! Well, so
Are we seeing a lower Norfair suitless play from Belthasar? He wanted the E-tank. He's in upper Norfair. It looks like he might be headed to Chronic Boost in the back of lower Norfair. It looks like Lies is headed back.
An attempt to get this tank. Oh, you know what? You know, we're about to see Lies and Gasoline attempt.
I think I have an idea.
Are we gonna get two suitless lower Norfares when we know where Varia is?
All right, Belthasar taking the plunge. Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Well, we know what boss we're gonna see down here, and we have 8 million crystal flash clips.
Nice dodges on the Three Musketeers. Oh, and an E-tank. That is probably one of the most welcome sights Belthasar could have hoped for right there.
Yep, Lies is not going back up to that plasma location. I don't think realizes. Could have done it.
All right, Belthasar probably feeling pretty comfy with his energy and the ammo count that he's got.
The 70th super missile shows up. 7-0. Mother Brain is dead. Mother Brain might just go down to ammo shots.
Who needs charge beam?
At this point, I don't like fighting plasma wouldn't even be exciting. Even, you know, Lies and Gasoline has 50 supers. That's also well more than enough.
Plasma behind Ridley. I'm calling it now.
Oh yes, Lower Norfair has 2 locations, so that's one of the places it could be.
Yeah, but none of those items are, you know, in logic to get without Varia. Belthasar taking a moment to kind of think about how he wants to play his energy in these rooms.
This is another area that can be very dangerous to traverse. You know, see, taking the time, because those key hunters can do a full suit combo, does a tank of damage.
No save. That's really interesting. I'm wondering if this is a single attempt. Alright, here comes Crystal Flash. Well, yeah. You should Crystal Flash right here.
Yep,
Yeah.
Gonna wait. Ooh.
Wanted to get it on screen, but waited. I'm just holding my breath. Like, I've got to keep talking because it's technically my job right now, but I'm not sure I can breathe at the moment.
Oof. PSA, probably don't Crystal Flash in the bomb blocks in the future for those of you at home. And there's Plasma.
Oh, that's gonna feel nice. That's gonna make traversing the rest of Lower Norfair a lot easier.
Much more damage. These things are gonna go. Everything's gonna die a lot quicker.
Metal Pirates are gonna be, well, I mean, he had super missiles, so.
Yeah, so that's just
you
a
try and take
three-shot.
out the Metal Pirates. Looks like he's gonna take an attempt. He can actually X-ray them if he wanted to. You can microwave these guys.
Yes, but yeah, now that he's got the plasma, probably forgot. He isn't even worried about the fact that he has X-ray at this point. That's been so long. That was felt like a year ago at this point in the seed. Is going to need to get over here and get ready for that next Crystal Flash clip shortly.
3 reserve tanks. Looks like he's going all the way to the door.
That's so many traps.
He knows it's Fantoon. He can crystal. Well,
no, it doesn't even need a
need
Crystal
to.
Flash. Yep. Especially if he's comfortable with this fight.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty hype right now. Belthasar is having a great run in Lower Norfair. I hope he can keep it going on the way out.
This is this has been such a crazy race and how things have turned around, and different Lies right now I think is just kind of lost trying to figure out what do I do next. Meanwhile, Belthasar is going to be finishing, going to turn his back on Lower Norfair and never have to come back. And when he gets to wreck ship, will be completely unlocked.
Yeah, I mean, unless Lies and Gasoline can logic out that there is some way to kill those space pirates in Plasma, unless he, takes a similar play and goes to Lower Norfair, Lies is stuck.
Never mind. We do see the microwave as we get some microwave calamari there. The space, space squid. Our space ghost is now dead.
So an interesting point. Tracy did make the comment that Belthasar does need to find a way to the Meridia boss. If he doesn't realize he can take the tube and get in the back door, he'd still be looking for speed or ice, which are going to be in wrecked ship, which he can now access, but it does add time to his playthrough.
Yeah, so we're going to see Belthasar probably route to wreck ship at this point. Knows where it's at.
Oh, he misses his crystal flash. It bounced him off the side.
Oh no. And skipped that save.
That's a big oof.
Where does this bring him back to?
Upper Norfair?
Yes. By the way, props to Stack and tracking. So in something like this where the players are resetting, you have to mentally step back to what did the runner have back at that point. So that's very difficult. I know you've done some tracking as well, Count Cranberry.
I've tracked exactly one seed.
Okay.
But yes, trackers are the MVPs, and let's take a moment. You just saw Belthasar take a really great attempt at a suitless Lower Norfair run. Lies and Gasoline has just been plowing through this seed. Give our runners a follow. Go to their Twitch channels, follow them. Obviously, they're two really good, talented runners. Can execute so much of the game. Just have been given a nightmare of a seed.
Well, and Lies has actually been doing quite a bit of tracking as well. With someone that's been helping out in the mix of things.
All right, looks like we're going to see another attempt from Belthasar.
Here we go.
And Lies and Gasoline, I think, still trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do.
Belthasar, knowing this is, hey, our friend the E-Tank, making this a little bit easier. Hopefully, like, the execution down to the boss fight was perfect the first time. Just that one misstep can be enough.
Yep, miss timing your crystal flash. I mean, that's pretty much instant death. You have to time it at a point where your energy is low enough that you drop under that 50 health threshold. And once you're under there, if you miss that crystal flash, you're just done. You can't recover.
And even that move itself is the input you have to be precise with and make sure you've got it held down at the right time and pull that off. It's not easy.
Yeah, embarrassingly enough, my first time doing a crystal flash was practicing for this tournament. I didn't know that there were extra button inputs. I thought you just laid the power bomb and then it took you straight into the crystal flash. So I'm sitting there like, why isn't my health going up? Why am I dead? Belthasar again opting to skip the save.
I'm not sure how I feel about this, and is at a dangerous point right now.
Crystal Flash, yeah. 7 health to spare. Plenty of room.
Asder, I would certainly say you are not bad at the game. Lies attempts this.
I mean, I like this play from Lies. Thinking that he's locked out, there could be an item behind Ridley which lets him kill those Space Pirates screw attack, maybe Plasma Beam. So I like the play, absent everything else. So we'll see if that other item is behind Ridley.
And is correct that the way to beat it is behind this, because we saw when Belthasar was exploring West Ocean that screw attack is out there, out in the ether.
Yeah, but unfortunately, killing Ridley won't let him access it.
No, that's only accessed by going where Belthasar is.
Exactly. I mean, we know that the item that he needs isn't behind Ridley, but he doesn't, unfortunately. Technically, if Speed Booster was behind Ridley, I think you can use Shine Spark Echoes to kill them, but that would be quite the overkill. Belthasar a little low on health here. Opting to farm up, I think, a little bit from these flames.
Probably not a bad idea at all here. Like, these runners are very good at these fights, but that's a little close. Ridley being extra nuisance.
Yeah, Ridley's not cooperating at all. Belthasar just saying, I'm going to take all the time I need to farm these flames.
Because I don't want to die to a stupid space ghost.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he has more than enough health to kill him. He's got to be farming for the run out. He's going to full.
It's not a bad time because you get all of these kills and you know, it's better farming than a lot of other locations.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have grapple beam, which makes, you know, farming those bugs in Lower Norfair so much easier. I will say though that the energy rate drop on those flames is not great.
Oh, Lies is going for a third Ridley attempt, but gets tail swiped.
Yep, you've got a little bit of leeway with, you know, 7 tanks plus reserves, but not a lot. You want to try and get him in that pogo pattern if you can.
No, just taking too much damage here. I mean, does have Ridley. Yeah, taking fire damage there. This is really rough.
I mean, Ridley's dead now, but if he'd managed to get picked up instead of, you know, bashed into, he might have been able to survive till the item drops, but it would have been close.
Okay, so now we got Belthasar fully funded in energy, and did plenty of farming. We once again have microwave calamari.
All right, let's get some energy in chat for Belthasar's escape and Lies and Gasoline's next attempt at Ridley. Let's see them both happen.
2 players executing essentially hell runs at the same time. Let's do this.
2 hours into the race. I mean, the physical and mental fatigue of playing the game for 2 hours when you're frustrated, you can't find the items you want. my hat goes off to these runners for sticking with it and racing it out to the end.
I know that mental frustration all too well. Last night I was playing a Worlds Collide seed where we play some pretty hard settings, and I was 4.5 hours in.
Oof. What's a normal time on a Worlds Collide seed?
Hour and a half, 2 hours. And most of my runs are sub 2 hours. But we were playing some incredibly difficult. It would be the hardest logic possible in this, where you would require the dumbest abilities ever.
All right, we got Crystal Flash 1 out from Belthasar. Looks like liesandgasoline triggered his reserves. Ridley gotta be dead at this point. Oh, but he takes a ram. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think that's enough. He's still taking heat damage while he's being held, and yeah, unfortunately. You've got to have I think it's a little over 150 health, 100 health, somewhere in there.
Is he going to go for another attempt?
Belthasar taking the save on the lower Norfair exit, so I can breathe a little bit easier. But taking a few hits from the key hunters. So we'll probably see a damage down in a Crystal Flash here in this room. Did we see Belthasar check Fireflies? It was just a missile, right?
Yes. Another attempt from liesandgasoline. Hopefully Ridley.
Go ahead.
Hopefully Ridley will be a little bit more cooperative this time and actually get into Pogo earlier.
That's a great opening pattern. Should be able to get plenty of supers in.
That should be just about lethal damage already.
Yeah, I think a few more supers and he'll be in business. He should be dead now. He's making the swoop animation. Yep, and with... I think you want to wait. I think you want the heat damage to actually trigger your reserves rather than manually putting them in, but I'm not positive on that. Belthasar, meanwhile, crystal flashing at the bottom of Three Musketeers, giving him some charge shots. And Belthasar is out.
Wow, he does get it. That's okay.
Liesandgasoline beating Ridley suitless is not rewarded with a major item for his trouble, but another G4 boss down.
And now liesandgasoline, knowing that, knows where the Vari is, but probably feels like he's going to have to do a suitless lower Norfair run. And we're going to have to see him execute what we just saw Belthasar execute.
Yep, and I think Belthasar used 3 crystal flashes with, some health farming on Fantoon and the E-Tank along the way. Liesandgasoline would have 2 E-Tanks on Belthasar making the run, but, only has enough ammo for 2 crystal flashes. So, some interesting mitigating factors.
And this is all predicated, and we're in this situation because Belthasar didn't take, or doesn't know or didn't take the back way to Dragon's Lair, and liesandgasoline didn't know the charge beam kills the pirates in plasma.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking at the beginning of the randomizer that, both randomizer experience and just, familiarity with tricks you would never, ever, ever need to know in some of the more standard categories can really play a major part in your races, and I think that's just being highlighted here. Liesandgasoline seeing that Screw Attack is up there.
But knows where Fantoon is at this point. And knows that Screw Attack isn't even going to be all that helpful after he kills Fantoon.
Now the question is Belthasar heading for wrecked ship? I can only imagine that he is, because if he doesn't know that you can take the tube, yep, and it looks like he is headed for wrecked ship. He's there. So our runners are going to high five here in just a minute.
Almost synced up for a
synchronized.
second.
Belthasar making these checks. Belthasar not knowing Varia's actual location. I think he should have been able to deduce it from logic, but hasn't actually physically seen the item. It is worth noting, without Varia's suit, wrecked ship is a little lethal when you're making your way through it when it's turned on. Those spikes do a non-insignificant amount of damage. So Belthasar does need to be a little careful here, even with all that crystal flash ammo.
There is a reason we call it the spiky room of death.
Yep, absolutely. And again, Belthasar also knows that Ridley's down there. He's seen him, if I remember correctly. And he still doesn't have Varia, so he doesn't have the energy to actually kill Ridley. Belthasar wisely opening the door on the left side of attic before going to check the right attic item. It looks like Lies and Gasoline is headed back into East Meridia. Hopefully heading back to Plasma just to see what he can do against those pirates. So we know Screw Attack is on the left side, so the only other two items have got to be Ice and Speed, right?
Yes.
And we know that Wreck Ship Reserve, we need Speed to get to it. So what do we think, like Speed at Bowling and Ice at Wreck Ship Reserve?
Would it be something if we had Speed, Lock, Speed? Nope, just super missiles. Okay.
So then Wreck Ship Reserve is going to be Ice or Speed, and Gravity is going to be Ice or Speed. I think that's it. Oh no, we're still missing Grapple too. But I guess there's one more in Lower Norfair that we haven't seen. Thanks to Tracy for keeping track.
Sometimes you forget to look at the HUD and still see that that's missing. I've definitely been guilty of that plenty of times, missing those items. But yeah, we've got players have all, well, right now Belthasar is all but 4 major items. We know where Plasma is. We already saw that. Ice, yeah, we just don't know where Ice is. We're still only looking to see where Ice, Speed, and Grapple are. And once we see these other two out of Wreck Ship, we'll know what the other Lower Norfair item is.
Yeah, which could be in any location on kind of the front side. GT, the pre-GT boss missiles, Mickey Mouse room. Or jail. It could be in jail, too. Alright, so we're going to see both this check, the Chozo missile location. There's Speed Booster. So now Belthasar, even though he's already killed Dragon, has access to Botwoon, and it essentially puts him in go mode for the rest of the seed.
Yes. Liesandgasoline needs to head to Lower Norfair, which we'll hopefully see him head there soon. And there is Ice Beam.
Ugh.
Now it's gonna
Go ahead.
it's gonna have to kill those two bosses. But I have a feeling it's probably going to head to Meridia first, and not try the Ridley fight right now.
I think, yeah, no, I think you take an attempt at Ridley here. You know, you've got to go out the back of Wrecked Ship. The front of Meridia spits you out closer to Red Brinstar. So I think routing-wise, Ridley then Meridia would be the better route, but, you know, I think Belthasar's still holding out hope that he can find Varia before fighting Ridley. I was also just going to say, stacked Wrecked Ship for Phantoon being in Lower Norfair.
White. Now Balthazar has full beam combo. And we know that now the other Lower Norfair item is just grapple.
Would have made Dragon a little bit easier, you know, an hour ago, but little outdated at this point.
Would have made farming a little bit easier, but...
Alright, it looks like liesandgasoline is making his suitless Lower Norfair play. So, you know, with Belthasar needing to clear, you know, 2 more G4 bosses, he's got every item except Varia. But liesandgasoline just needs to get through Lower Norfair in order to head for Turian. So this race is closer than I think we think it is. If liesandgasoline can execute this on his first try, he might be in a pretty commanding position.
Yeah, this has been a race. Like, this has been a really interesting back and forth in a lot of ways. You know, where even with the very difficult start Belthasar had, you know, not realizing that the morph ball was going to be in that right side E tank in Wrecked Ship. Liesandgasoline not having that issue, but both players have had their fair share of resets in this seed. Lies is going to go back and grab that super missile.
Puts him that much closer to a second Crystal Flash.
Ooh.
Oh, but he's checking jail. I'm not sure I like this. The only thing that bails him out, well, I guess a super pack or an E-tank would bail him out, but this is a lot of health to lose.
Oh, well. We know what grapple was.
The seed just giving him a little bit more trolling, you know. Meanwhile, Belthasar microwaves everyone's favorite water snake. And is on his way to Kraid.
I would not recommend microwaving snake. That's probably not a tasty morsel.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it either, although I've never tried it, so I can't say with 100% certainty.
I will say with certainty that microwaving anything reduces its quality. So
that's a fair point.
Other than using a microwave beam to kill things, that's totally okay.
All right, Belthasar, in Precious, about to head into Kraid. Liesandgasoline just, I think, screwing up his nerve to head into this last segment of Lower Norfair. Gonna take a Crystal Flash here at the top. I think I like this. It lets him kind of save with the most health he could potentially save. Takes a hit from the fireball. Gets knocked off course.
There we go.
Belthasar showing
ooh.
us how Quick Kill is done.
I wouldn't go down here without farming the fire fleas right now to get back up over. Wyoming has 7 supers, does not have a crystal plaster here.
All right, he's thinking better of it.
Well, definitely thinking.
Yeah, this is a tough spot to be in. Opting to go lava dive, looking for that other major item potentially.
Ooh, this is really rough.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was hoping to achieve. I mean, the only thing that I can think of is a super pack or an E-tank at Mickey Mouse, but you just wouldn't have the energy to get there.
No, especially like the lava dive hurts with both suits.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't have been able to make that run with Varia. And Belthasar heading up to Plasma, gonna see the goods. He's got Screw Attack, he's got Charge Plasma, he's got all the tools he needs to complete his loadout.
Belthasar probably didn't know that when he signed up for the night he was going to be running Hundo.
Right? I mean, that's full countdown sometimes. We have reduced the item counters to 0 in every location for Belthasar, except Lower Norfair. We're still missing Grapple Beam.
Beep to the boop mentioning that tracking. Yes, Balthazar or count or stack took care of the tracking perfectly. We know, was ready for it, knew it was there, made it appear right on time.
Probably pretty satisfying to press that last button and have the whole column lit up.
Especially knowing that he can just ignore Balthazar's side of the screen with that tracker now.
We're seeing Belthasar turn around. Oh, he killed Crate, of course. Sorry. I was wrapped up in Lies and Gasoline's Lower Norfair Hell Run. So making the right choice to head up to the vanilla transition and indirect ship. Looks like Lies and Gasoline just kind of wondering where to go from here.
I'm gonna have to agree with Asder on this. I'm not sure either player really feels hyped this late into the race. Like this is definitely a slog fest for both players. This is one of the rougher seeds I've seen in a while.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure I've seen a seed go over the 2-hour 15 mark. This might be the longest race we've had so far.
That's something that our we could probably have checked on, but I would guess this probably is. And I will also agree with that. That I'm glad, this is a 2 and 4 matchup, so this isn't 2 players running for top 16 right now. This is players running to finish up through this week. If this were a top 16 winning in, this would be very. This would feel a lot bad.
Yeah, neither runner can feel good right now.
The only positive is that at this point both runners know they haven't seen their opponent done. So
Yeah, I mean that is the one comfort in when you roll a seed like this is you know that your opponent is going through the exact same thing you are.
Pretty sure
Oh.
Lies is deep in thought.
Yep, and Belthasar saving before his Ridley attempts, but now that he's picked up Varia, the revisit to Ridley should go in a definitively different direction.
I think at this point, with Balthazar now facing this final boss battle, it is significantly in the lead. Should be able to get this, knows where Turian is, be able to navigate back to Red Tower, and then head back up to Turian and get there. Not sure what Lies and Gasoline is doing here.
I mean, it could be just checking miners for, more E-tanks, more missiles. Another missile, another couple power bomb packs gives him another crystal flash. Yeah, I think at this point, Lies and Gasoline just feels a little painted into a corner.
Maniacal, yes, Lies and Gasoline didn't know how to pseudo-screw and get the win, so... and be able to kill the pirates in the room. And they had neither... They did have charge, but... no speed.
Yep, no speed, no screw attack. It was just... Only the pseudo-screw would have done the trick.
But was able to... found Varia first. By a long shot. Would have been able to comfortably finish the seed, but instead is now significantly behind with Belthasar, having that last boss fight done. Nothing else to pick up, nothing to worry about. Not gonna pass, or not passing go, not collecting $200, just going right to the end of this game.
Belthasar choosing to give Samus a little break and ride the escalator across wrecked ship.
Probably giving his hands a break too after this 2 hours plus.
I respect that. Yeah, and while it has been a nightmare seed to watch, I will say, or not a nightmare seed to watch, a nightmare seed to play. To watch, it's been pretty interesting. There's been a lot of back and forth. Belthasar with the morph ball at the beginning, Lies and Gasoline missing the the gravity suit on his first visit to Kraid. It's been leads have been exchanged, tears have been shed. Yeah, it's been fun to watch. I'm sure it is not fun to play, but it's been fun to watch.
No way was it fun to play for them. At least, no. Not even the beginning. Not at any point was this a seed that's like, hey, this is great. No, it was pretty rough from the beginning. I mean, we were an hour in, and the players at that point still only had like morph, power bombs, and charge.
I know.
Morph bombs and charge like an hour in. It was pretty rough.
Yeah, then we get spring ball. Yeah, just the number of times we've had to see the runners cross Cathedral without heat protection. Just that alone, if anyone had tracked that number, that's far too high.
It was a non-zero number, and it was a non-one-time only number for sure.
Like we said at the beginning, this is the kitchen sink seed, or week, and this seed threw the kitchen sink at our runners.
Yeah, this was rough. This is the welcome to all the random. all the random.
Yep. And Belthasar entering Turian at the 2 hour and 23 minute mark.
This should be a nice, quick Turian with almost 100 loadout.
Yep, shouldn't have too much difficulty getting through these Metroid rooms. I'm wondering if we'll see a baby skip.
Definitely has the items for it. Oh, it just misses that super. This is a room that, these Metroid rooms can be, most of these players are able to execute them pretty well, but when you watch someone that is god tier executing these Metroid rooms, it is a thing of beauty. I remember there was a race where Shiny Zenny got through every room with just perfect movement, and everyone, chat, comms, everyone was going nuts because it was one of the most perfectly executed lower Turians we had ever seen.
Yeah, we had a race like that last week in Chozo Logic. Somebody came in behind the other runner and just absolutely crushed the Metroid rooms in Turian. They found Ice Beam just before then, and it was a sight to see.
Mm. Does miss the baby skip, but remembers to turn right. It does.
Yep.
Lets the damage happen a little bit faster. Mother Brain, for having the large brain she does, is not really thought out her final layer well by having a refill station, close by her layer.
I mean, those space pirates that are in the escape, maybe they need, energy every now and then. I don't know. I am not a giant cybernetic artificial intelligence, so I can't speak for Mother Brain.
Alright, we see a Zebetite skip there for Belthasar, heading to this Mother Brain fight, and we'll make short work of this with this insane amount of ammo. Like, this is probably the most ammo I've seen in in any of the races that I've called.
Yep, and I think we're just going to see Belthasar just pelt Mother Brain with super missiles. Fastest DPS option. I think we're going to need to have just a couple of charge shots at the end. Throwing caution to the wind, just tanking hits from Mother Brain, has the energy for it.
Yep, no worries at all.
To recap, yeah, for Idle Child, just couldn't get out of plasma. Didn't realize that the charged pseudo screw would kill the pirates.
Yeah, we did try to switch over audio, but there was really nothing coming from Belthasar, unfortunately. So we just have to watch and imagine the sound of this baby grabbing onto Mother Brain and the screaming and, the arguing that's happening, and, watching this moment that I know for me when it first happened, the first time I was in this room as a kid, it terrified me.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a horrifying scene, just all around. I mean, just seeing Mother Brain come up out of the ground with that body was something else too.
All right. Belthasar now getting refilled by the baby that just, stored all this energy from draining it from her. we will see Mother Brain unfortunately kill our baby friend.
Spoilers.
If you haven't seen it in 30-some years, that's on you.
To
By the
anyone
way,
out there this is their first time watching Super Metroid, my apologies for my co-commentator spoiling that moment for you.
at the end of the movie Titanic, actually not even at the end, during the movie, the ship sinks.
Man, we just close your ears, chat. Just close your ears.
I mean, I do know how bad spoilers can be. I had probably the worst spoiler ever for me is I was about to finish disc 1 of Final Fantasy VII, and someone else who was playing it had just gotten past that point and told me about Eris's death. And it was, this is way back when the game was still new. That was probably the worst spoiler that ever happened to me.
Oh yeah, I mean that was back when, the internet was kind of in its nascency, so you didn't run the risk of being spoiled for video games online like you do today.
That's not quite as bad as the night I was playing Diablo, and the night the book released, someone created a character name as Dumbledore dies and the page number. That was a monster.
That is low.
Maniacal with the comment, Eris also can't hear Balthazar's audio. That is very true. Belthasar making short work of Parlor. Coming out, and I can't even imagine the relief Belthasar felt at this point. Get those GGs in chat ready. And let's unload those GGs on Belthasar. With an official race time of 2:31:13.
Ooh, yeah, big GGs to Belthasar.
Sub 3 hour seed hype. I agree, God's green. Sub 3 hour sub. This is rough for both runners to have gone through this. Congrats to their perseverance and continuing to push through this. I know that it would be incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, we'll see if the runners are willing to join us for an interview after a 2.5 hour seed. I would not blame them if they wanted to not do that. But it would be great to kind of get their perspective and their thinking as they kind of move through the seed.
Yes, well, and just to talk about the couple of, Balthazar skipping the interview. Okay, so Belthasar, the only question I was going to have for you, and while we got you in chat, was, did you could have got to the Dragon boss location earlier if you had taken the other route? Did you think about that?
I'm just noting in the credits, progression speed was slow. You don't say, Varia Randomizer. You don't say.
That's probably the most obvious thing I've ever seen.
Understatement of the tournament, right there.
Yeah, we did see where all the item locations are. That's the first time I've had that happen in one of these multi-category tournaments. Okay, fair. Yeah, this has been, for me, I don't know. I don't know how you feel, Count, but this is one of the more interesting. Like, even though it was a long, difficult race, it was interesting to watch because of the number of changes that happened in leads and watching the players try to route. What do you think?
No, I totally agree, and I kind of said this earlier. I am 100% positive that this was an abysmal seed to actually play, but being able to watch both runners side by side, progress through the seed, there were mistakes made, there were really hype plays that were made. The lead changed again and again, so I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. But I at the same time I felt for the runners. I could feel it in my bones how they felt as they were playing through this.
Yeah, this is one where, like, I think the fact that I had that seed that I ran last night that was so frustrating for me, that I knew that feeling from last night and just how that was like, wow, yes, the lies and gasoline, that continuous wall jump to cross moat, that was awesome. And you got it pretty early, like maybe a third or fourth attempt instead of I've seen people run that one for 5 or 6 minutes. So this is a lesson for those of you that are thinking about running these, that there's a lot of areas and tricks that you need if you want to be at the top to do these fully random ones, that you have to do some research on how to attempt these things, but also remembering all of it has got to be it's difficult during these runs, especially when you're at the 2 hour mark, your brain is fried.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. You can see a seed where Kraid is in Lower Norfair and there's a progression item in his warehouse, and you just it just slips your mind when you're an hour and a half into a seed.
Absolutely. It looks like we're gonna have Lies and Gasoline join us in audio.
And we are joined by Lies and Gasoline. Hey, GG, great race.
Oh yeah. I just wanted to say I gotta go to bed, man. But listen, thank you, thank you for sticking with it. I wish I mean pseudo screw. Now that you say it, I know pseudo screw. I know what that is, man. I just it didn't come up in my brain at the time.
Oh,
Yeah, an hour 45, 2 hours into the seed, when you finally get and see Varia there,
Yes.
it's so easy not to have that in your mind when you're like, all right, I need screw attack or I need plasma movement to kill these guys. So
Yeah.
we
Well,
at that point we just felt so bad for you because, like, oh, if he does this, oh no.
well, at least I knew I couldn't get out, so at least I saved before and I didn't lose a whole bunch of time or anything. But yeah, it was terrible. Anyway, I just wanted to say thanks, and I'm excited to watch this horrible seed back.
well, we appreciate you running it
Yeah.
and for sticking through it for 2.5 hours. So my
Yeah.
hat goes off to you.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
For sure. Well, yeah, thanks again for and good luck in future future tournaments. Hopefully, we see you back, and of course, because you did it, thank you for tracking during these tournaments, because we all know how incredibly important that is.
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is my first tournament, and I got some pretty terrible seeds. So maybe I'll sit out the next one. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you know
Jeez.
what? If you've gotten used to these terrible ones, you'll know how
Yeah,
to potentially track them down better in the future.
that's true. That's true.
Nowhere
All
to
right. Well,
go
anyway.
but up, right?
Right. All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yep, our
Thank
pleasure.
you.
All right. Do you have any last thoughts, Count?
No, I don't think so. Just, big thanks to you, Vincent. Big thanks to Stack for tracking. As we kind of said to Lies and Gasoline, the trackers are really the ones who make the world go round with these SpeedGaming restreams. So, and big thanks to our runners for slogging through that horrifying seed.
That was definitely some things of nightmare, but Count actually jumped in last minute to hop in with chat, which on comms. I'm really glad. It makes it a much better, especially for a seed this long. I've doing comms on a single, a shorter of race is tough. Doing one on that would have been this long would have been a nightmare. So I'm really glad you were here to share in this misery. Actually,
Glad
it
to
was.
be of service. Glad to be of service.
It was actually not. It was actually really fun for us to call. Also, I'll extend that thanks to Stack and thanks to everyone that does tracking through these. Tomorrow, there are 4 races, but there's a big one with Shy Guy and Farfaloo that Lenophos and Tracy are going to be doing the comms on tomorrow. That one's at 7 p.m. That is a definite top 16 matchup. That is currently a 10th ranked and a 9th ranked racer. So that's a big one. That's a 5-1 versus a 4-2. And the winner of that is going to be in the top 16. So that's a big one. And there's 4 total races tomorrow. There's a lot more races coming this week. Our own Count Cranberry is going to be running on Wednesday at 4:10 p.m. So come check out his race.
Or if all the seeds are going to be like this, don't watch me run it. No, I can't dissuade people from watching restreams. You should watch all the restreams you can. There's a lot of really great content that's coming up. As you saw, week 7, the settings are going to be fun.
Yes. So this will be it's going to be really interesting to see how things shake out the rest of this week on this extremely random and wild week as we set the top 16. Thank you, chat, for sticking around for this long. This is this was a long race, but you guys definitely make, while trackers are MVP, you guys are, incredibly important to this experience. We're able to interact with you and help make this race, make this whole thing more interesting. So we definitely enjoyed that. Check out the races that are coming this week. Keep checking that schedule. Hope to see you guys in the next, hope to see you guys in the future. And you know what? We will see you next mission.